and I try to chair the meeting and give a kind of a little bit guidance, and then try also to keep track of time, because we are quite busy during this webinar. We have 2.5 hours. We also have a short coffee break planned in our agenda, but this is really a short one. And that's it. Just a few other housekeeping rules. For your knowledge, we are recording the meeting, and also I ask kindly everybody to keep their microphones muted if you don't speak, and raise your hand if you have a question, or also you can note your questions in the chat, and then we will ask everybody to speak up with their questions. So thank you for that, and then we can start our meeting. And for the introduction, I would like to give floor to our Romanian colleagues. Who is doing the Ovidia? You are doing.
Yes, thank you, Olaf. I would like to say hello to everybody. I would like to welcome you and thank you for joining us in the webinar Digitalization and Rural Development. And I would like to make a short introduction and introduce in few sentences the Interreg Europe project ORIGINN, which is the umbrella for the many activities and events that the 7 partners of the project from Spain, Ireland, Sweden, Estonia, Romania, Italy, and Slovakia, and their stakeholder will experience in the next year. What brought together the 7 regions in the ORIGINN project was a challenge we faced in the last decades, which is the deepening of the discrepancies between rural areas and urban areas in terms of social economic opportunities. And this gap lead either in a decrease of population, aging population, and less attractiveness of rural areas. While rural areas are the sole source of our food, it could be either a good place for living and making business. I would say it is a place for perpetuation and manifestation of identity of the places in terms of architecture, tradition, and so on. We experience either in Romania, and I think it happened in other countries during COVID crisis, people discovered again rural areas as a place that offered a better alternative than rural. So the ORIGINN's main goal is to enlarge and improve policy instrument in the involved territories of the partner regions, seeking to foster innovation-based industrial transition in rural areas with an emphasis in the agri-food sector. Under this topic, ORIGINN puts special attention to digitalization, industrial sustainability, social innovation, and soft innovation measures, devoting specific activity to each of them. So as part of this topic, Estonian partners from the Ministry of Regional Affairs and Agriculture and the Romanian partner, Regional Development Agencies Centru, have organized this webinar discussing as first topic of our project and of our journey, the digitalization of rural areas. We will learn today about models and practices that our regions have developed to bring more digitalization in rural areas. This is a way of making them more attractive and connected to the world. I wish you get inspired from the presentations offered today, and maybe one of it could be your source of inspiration. Thank you very much. We can't hear you.
Olavi, we cannot hear you.
Okay, so it's also a learning curve for us to not to forget the microphone muted for us. So thank you, Ovidia, once again for the kind words and the nice introduction about the project. Yes, indeed, I think the Interreg project as such are a great opportunity to exchange views, and then the webinar, as we have planned on the digitalization issue, is one of them, which is high priority also for Estonia, and we are really looking forward to all the presentations. I've already seen some of them, and I think it's going to be quite exciting day. Now we can start with the day, and then we have planned a few introductory presentation from Estonia and Romania, and we can share our presentation. Okay. Good. Thank you. And just very short, we have 10 minutes each, so I'm really going around the topic in Estonian perspective, just to set the scene. So as Ovidia also said, that the digital challenges are global in nature, and then we all have to deal with them. The technical innovation is constantly going really fast, and to use the Lewis Carroll Alice from the Wonderland metaphor, that to be on one place you have to run really fast, and then I think in Estonia we have learned that already quite for some years, that the technical innovation is going so fast that to keep up with it, you have to really move really fast, and also with the digital innovation there are also possibilities but also challenges, and we really feel that there might be also possibilities to many of the so-called wicked problems which we are having in our societies more and more. In Estonia, the basic strategy what we have is Estonia 2035 strategy, and it's overarching strategy for all the life in Estonia, so to say, and a lot of different line strategies are feeding into its goals. Also, the digital strategy is one of them. Our own from our ministry, our strategy is Rural Development and Agriculture and Fisheries Development Plan, which also feeds into the Estonia 2035. But the digital development and digital agenda is kind of horizontal strategy in Estonia, which is feeding into all the other strategies as well. So it has to give the kind of purpose and lines to all the other strategies. So we really take that as our guidance in all our strategies. Yeah, in Estonia, what we think, we call ourselves e-Estonians, and we are really proud of our digital kind of background. I think we got a really good head start, and it's quite nice. But as I said, we have to move really fast, and in some areas we have quite a lot of problems as well. For example, we are rather developed in digital state. 93% of our citizens use in some form the digital services, and the basis of that is a X-Road platform, which is the platform to use a government and state-based data between each other. And that's quite a good thing, that the tax board, for example, and then any other statistics board can exchange data really freely, and then we have really got used to that. And also we have a digital ID, which is based on personal ID number, and then it kind of give the basis for the government to give all the services. But of course, we have also a lot of problems. The user friendliness has stayed, I think, in last decade. And then we have to develop that quite a lot. We have to review and develop new content and so on. So the other problem which we have is a communication services market is quite well developed, but the internet is not in every part of the area. And also there are the cybersecurity risks which are ever rising, and the other problem is that also as a state this is quite developed. The economy hasn't stepped up with it as well, and so there are a lot of possibilities. The biggest problem what we consider in IT is the human resource deficiency. We don't have IT specialists as much as we could have. And also the technical development goes really fast, and then it creates new risks. So these are the problems we discovered when we started our Estonian digital agenda 2030. It was adopted in 2021. And the vision for our digital agenda is 5 ways. I'm not going to go into this into detailed way. Currently, it can be reached in our the website of Estonian Minister of Economic Affairs and Communication. But I think it gives a kind of good overview of where we want to be in 2030. How the digital agenda vision was built up is that it gave a kind of principles of implementing the vision and also organizational management. The Ministry of Economic Affairs is leading it, but also it creates a lot of working groups on the ministerial levels, but also on the technical specialist levels. And it really tries to go into each area of our government. And in the vision, there are 3 main sub-objectives: digital government, connectivity, and cybersecurity. And there also is quite a kind of elaborated expectations with other development plans, as I already said. Just a few words about the objectives where we want to go, which the first one, digital government, which is the basic what the government is doing. We really want to kind of turn the government services into a new area. We want all the services to be business and event based, which means that the services come to you when you need it and exactly in the format you need it. We think that the artificial intelligence has to come into the game. We think that we can use that quite more to provide services to the citizens. We think that the digital government has to be a human-centered. This means that all the services have to be kind of derived from the human and citizen need, but also we have to keep everybody on board. We have to deal with knowledge transfer and trust issues as well. I think we have in Estonia quite a good trust to the digital services, and that is a basis of for everything. And the fourth is a green digital government. We think that the digital agenda has a lot to do with our environmental concerns as well, and then we can also derive on these green objectives what we all have. The second sub-objective, the connectivity part, is to do everything with the kind of access to the digital parts. It's how to build the networks, also how to give the new infrastructure parts and so on. So I think this is quite a lot of or kind of self-understandable that to give access to everybody, but also this means the legal clarity for businesses, also for the service providers, but also for the users. It has to be really, really clear. And also here we think that we have to work quite over the borders with our partners all over the Europe, but our neighbors, but maybe also globally to have a really clear understanding how the digital services interact with each other, and we can go there. And the third sub-objective is cybersecurity. I think this is also self-explanatory. No, it went to the third one. Yes, that's the cybersecurity challenges are ever increasing, and we really have to take care of these as well. Also from the government part, but also the government has to provide the general playing field also for the companies for that. So it's it has to be the kind of front runner on that, and then we have to create the analysis capacity for the risk and impacts, and then increase our capacity for the cybersecurity in all fields. So this is really a priority. Just about the objectives and how to measure what we have achieved, we have created the so-called 4-tier objectives. First is satisfaction of the private person, satisfaction of entrepreneurs, availability of high-speed internet, and resilience and trustworthiness of cyberspace. It can be measured, and then the initial situation is that we are an average 67.5% on all of these in general. We would like to be a 94, so there is quite a lot to do with it. We asked the artificial intelligence to describe the rural digitalization, and then this is what it gave up. So you can see that there are not that many persons on the field. This is one of the biggest problem in Estonia as well, and I think with the digitalization, as I said in the first sentence, what I said, that it's a challenge, but it's technical challenge, and it's a kind of trust challenge, and but it's also a possibility for all the regions and rural areas with the digital means. And then we can, I think, also in an area like in Estonia, where there are not that many people on the countryside, we can actually bring the services to the citizens as we need it. And then the other real challenge what we have is to bring the digitalization also to the companies and to bring the added value to the companies. So this is the Estonian view of the kind of general digitalization possibilities and challenges. I hope it also, I think it is a kind of general understanding also in a global way, and for all of us. So this was our introduction. Now I'd like to give the word for Marius for also quick dive into the topic, and then we can start our discussions. Marius.
Thank you very much, Olavi. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first Origin webinar. My name is Marius Duca. I work for the RDA Centru, which is one of the 7 partners of the Origin project. In the next 10 minutes, I will try to give you some relevant information at European level about the topics we intend to discuss today, which is digitalization in rural areas. I try to share my screen, my presentation. I don't know if you can see my presentation, my screen.
Not yet.
I suppose you have to give the permission. Okay. And now you can see my presentation?
Not yet.
Not yet. Maybe we can share your presentation ourselves, and you can just tell us to. Kai. Okay, maybe you can try now.
Okay.
Yeah, we will share
Okay.
your
Okay.
expertise here and figure it out for the next speakers.
Okay.
Sorry for that.
No problem.
Okay, it should. Okay. So do you see it?
No, not yet.
Okay, we see it in another computer. I hope that the others are seeing it as well. Maybe.
Yes, we are seeing it. I'm seeing it, yes.
Okay.
Okay, we start by looking at the current situation of the rural territories in Europe. Afterwards, we try to imagine how the rural communities will look like in 20 years and how the digitalization could help the rural communities to fulfill their ambitions. According to the official data, rural areas in Europe represent about 83% of the total EU area, and they are home to 30% of the EU population. Moreover, 9 out of 10 regions in the EU are predominantly rural regions, but the average GDP per capita in rural regions is significantly lower than the EU average. The distribution of the rural population varies significantly from country to country, as you can see in this slide. These pictures show us that despite the significant increase in daily internet use in Europe over the last decade, there are still remaining gaps between rural and urban residents. I suppose many of you heard about the DESI report that summarizes the indicators on Europe's digital performance and tracks the progress of EU countries. In the next 2 slides, you can see some relevant indicators from the DESI report on Romania. You can see easily the gaps between Romania and the EU average against the EU 2030 targets. Okay, we know how the present looks like, but what about the future? The European Commission, together with the relevant stakeholders, developed the EU Rural Vision for 2040, comprising 10 common goals. As you can see, digital innovation and its related benefits is one of these key goals. The action plan related to the EU Rural Vision puts also an emphasis on digital infrastructure, among others. And even now, we can say that the importance of digitalization is fully understood at European level. We are speaking about the digital decades, which sets not only concrete targets and objectives, but it also provides more than 165 billion for achieving those targets. As you can see in the next slide, there are 4 focus areas in this strategic document, which are skills, digital transformation of businesses, secure and sustainable digital infrastructure, digitalization of public services. And in this context, it was to mention the European Declaration of Digital Rights and Principles, signed by the President of the European Commission on 15 December 2022. Finally, one slide about the strategies and programs addressing the digitalization in my region. Later on, one of my colleagues from RDA Centru will present more details about one of the priorities focusing on digitalization and included in our current regional program. Thank you very much for your attention, and I would like to invite our speakers from the 7 partner regions to present the examples and good practices that proved successful in the regions. Thank you.
Thank you, Marius. Thank you very much. And you are spot on the timing as well. So this was a really good presentation. And I think the setting the scene and the kind of overview of the European situation was really helpful also for the future understanding of our problems. So I take my right not to give floor after our presentations to anybody for the questions as well. So we can go straight into the presentations, and I think we keep our time for questions more on these presentations. And so here we can start with the overview of the policy instruments which are addressing the digitalization issues in the rural areas and in other areas as well. And as I explained, in Estonia, one of the biggest problem is that the companies are not using the digital tools as much as we are hoping, and therefore we have a special program also from our Enterprise Estonia, which is doing the digitalization masterclass for the companies. And then we have Mr. Järvik here, who is giving us overview about it. So, Joel.
Yes, hello. Yeah, 1 second.
If you try to share your own presentation, so it's going a little bit easier, but
yeah.
Okay, we will see it. Perfect. Thank you.
1 second. Takes time. Okay.
We see now the version which has also the comments interview here. So. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Hello from my side. Previous speakers have made a good introduction about digitalization and what is the backstory and what is the documents. I think it will take less than 50 minutes, but we'll see. Also, I tried to find some companies to speak, but they were busy. Okay. First, I give a little overview about our agency. Enterprise Estonia is a public law institution in Estonia, what's supporting economic development and entrepreneurship. Enterprise Estonia is established to promote the economy and exchange the country's international competitiveness. And I introduce you some key areas in which we operate. It gives a little backside of this. First one is increasing export capacity, export promotion. EAS or Enterprise Estonia assists Estonian companies in expanding to foreign markets by providing support and consultation and international business. Also, we advise businesses on how to find export partners and expand into foreign markets. The next one is business development, which supports entrepreneurs and the business environment through various programs and measures. This includes support for startups as well as the development of existing businesses. To help bring business ideas on life, we offer grants, loans, and support their development and expansion into foreign markets. Also, my main topic, the Digitalization Masterclass, is one of the business development service which help companies. The next one is innovation and research. We support innovation and research and development activities, helping companies implement innovative solutions and researches. One of the sectors is also tourism promotion. We promote Estonia as a tourist destination and supports tourism-related businesses to increase the number of visitors. We are increasing Estonia's visibility and attractiveness as a travel destination and as a place to conduct business, live and study. Also, the regional development. We support private citizens in improving their living condition by offering surety for acquiring a home or a loan, as well as sureties and loans for increasing the energy efficiency of homes. And the last one, management of European Union structural funds. We have responsible for managing several European Union structural funds aimed at strengthening economic development and competitiveness. Why we launched Digitalization Masterclass? Estonia ranks 15 among EU countries on the integration of digital technology by businesses. And there are significant differences between traditional Estonian companies that do not benefit from digital solutions and newer, highly digitalized companies. In Estonia, only 54% of small, medium enterprises have at least a basic digital skill or level, which is just below the European Union average and far from the target of 90%. And for that reason, it's important to help small and medium entrepreneurs to understand what is the digitalization and how to improve digitalization skills. Also, we would like to, improve Estonian companies' competitiveness through strategic development. And Digitalization Masterclass was one of the first programs in Enterprise Estonia from the public sector to increase company digitalization. The purpose. Every company has created his own process tree to understand what is these pieces from companies to develop, and conducted a prior audit to assess organizational process and automation. The input from each workshop and seminars shapes the action plan and provides input into the summary plan. And after the masterclass, the plan is effective, and entrepreneurs or companies is ready to continue. Also, mentors suggest and present the most suitable digital solutions. For example, ERP system, Enterprise Resource Planner, which is the most popular software, what makes questions and necessary for the main focusing industry sectors, and mentors giving know-how to integrate other softwares. For the moment, we see that we have to make some extra seminars also for the ERP, what is the Enterprise Resource Planner. Optimize businesses, process and supply chains, mentors helping to modeling to 2P process and as-is process, which is the main focusing thematic where enterprise can understand his own processes. And if the company know his processes, then they identify process with the highest impact on the company's competitiveness and can deal with it. And to whom and what is the criteria? They have to be in industry or service sector, and with growth potential. Also, we looked at the company's ambitious and with at least 3 years of experience. Also, should be or must be the export experienced or planning to start exporting, and enough resources to engage 2 or 3 participants. So what is the application process? Companies meeting criteria invited for a virtual 50 minutes interview. Interview topics sent via email, and we find or looking to company what is the most suitable and what is the highest motivation. And Enterprise Estonia assessment committee makes the final selection, and 20 strongest companies chosen for the program. So how the workshop looks, we have in-person workshops in Tallinn. We have 4 workshops on site and 4 webinars via video. And like I already said, that 3 team members have to be on site, and 1 should be on the key position, like CEO or something like that. Focus. We are focusing on the practical steps for digitalization and automation. Like I already said, we try to find the most these process parts what impact the most. Also, at the end of each workshop, there is an experience story from a previous participating company, who gives the overview, what is their lessons learned about this workshop or what is this program. So the results, more than 100 participants have participated through 3 years, and we are continuing. Very high feedback from the last group also, about 475 from the 5 points. So the quality is very high. And also, the outstanding company wins 10,000 euros, and then can development his own process further. What we also learned, I have 2 minutes more, and then the most companies. A lot of small, medium enterprises haven't no basic business modeling process. Like I before said, we are concentrating and trying to focus to P process and as-is process. And this is the basic skills. And then we see that the businesses or entrepreneurs haven't know, or they don't know these know-how. And if someone have the questions for me and the questions about this digitalization masterclass, you can also find me, I think, from the program organizer, and then you can write me or call me. And thank you from my side. Yeah, I'm running out of time. Thanks.
You are. Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. And we can take 1 minute for the questions if anybody has any questions. for comments. Yes.
Hi, thank you so much for the presentation. I was just curious about the mentors. You mentioned mentorship. Can you tell us a bit more about who the mentors are? Are they external consultants? Are they internal members of your team?
Yes, every team has one mentor, and mentors is from the, like I already said, from the consultation companies. And then, yes, we have different consult companies, and then there is experts from the digitalization. Also, we have the experience from the ESG environment, and then from the different teams also, or the topics, sorry, different topics, yes.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah,
and I think this kind of business development and the sharing of ideas, we also have a presentation from our Swedish colleagues in at the end of the day, which is also touching this topic. So really interesting, and then for Estonia, really important also, and then would be also really important to monitor whether the companies have implemented the digital kind of knowledge they are getting, and then whether the added value is also increasing. But we hope that this is happening. But thank you once again, Joel, for a very good presentation, and then to also being in precisely on time. So it's just a pleasure to run this kind of webinar when we have presenters like that. Thank you. Next, we are going to Slovakia, and then we have Lukáš Hanušín, who is going more on kind of spatial planning and more on the GeoPortal side. So, please.
Hello, everyone. If I may, I will be presenting on behalf of Lukáš, if it's okay with you. May I share my screen?
Yes.
My name is Natalia Balaníková. I work on the Department of Strategic Development, where this GeoPortal is. Sorry.
Yes, we can see the presentation, but not in the presenter's mode.
Yes. Just a second.
Oh, that's good as well.
No, just a second. I will sort it out. Okay. So
okay. Yeah, thank you.
I would like to present digital tools of the Prešov self-governing region. Basically, there are two. We have GeoPortal, which means thematic web maps and dashboards in one place. It's used for the spatial display of data from the territory, and it's also a convenient way to visualize some statistical indicators. And another one is RISK, R-I-S-K, and we use it for a collection of project proposals and communication applications from all the socioeconomic partners from our region. So first, I would like to present GeoPortal. So as I said, it's a platform for integrating, storing, and spatial data from different domains. We use some national data. We use data from our social economic partners. Basically, any data we can get our hands on, we use them for this GeoPortal, and then we visualize it to some thematic maps. We can access information like unemployment rate, average wage, population growth, age structure, and so on. And it was also very well used during COVID-19 because this application, pandemic measures could be implemented taking into account, for example, age structure of the population. So where was the most needed to vaccinate first, and so on. And there are currently 244 datasets published on this GeoPortal. And it all started, just a second, it started as it raised up from Catching Up Regions initiative, which Prešov region is part of, and it's initiated of the World Bank and European Commission. So this was one of the tools that they recommended that we implement and use it for region development. So next, who is the GeoPortal for? First, it's for public. It's free of charge. Anyone can use it. Anyone can view, download, or process any area of their interest. We use it to make decisions about where to implement some activities, and also other local authorities, municipalities, towns, etc. can use it. Districts, anyone basically can use it, and we can also use it to plot anything like, for example, industrial sites such as green fields or brown fields. Next, there are three main GeoPortal modules. First, there is a data catalog, open data, focus on Prešov region, and it is free for adding, downloading, and so on. Then there are thematic maps and dashboards. We prepared some dashboards to be used for our users, and then there is a map viewer where you can see spatial data to be nicely and easily understandable on the map. Here is one example of interactive thematical maps on GeoPortal. For example, here is the investment potential in Prešov region. We have actually a great, let's say, great interest from potential investors, and thanks to this application, to this tool, we can quickly answer all their questions, like educational level in this district, what are the secondary schools in that district, and so on, age structure of population, unemployment rate. So this is highly used from the GeoPortal. Then we have Microsoft Power BI tool, interactive dashboard. Here is some example. You can switch through years. You can very simply, very friendly, user friendly, and basically anyone can use it. And we have rising number of users every year. So in Prešov region, we have a large number of brownfields, which are the remnant of the previous agrarian mode during the communist era. And from that era, we had a lot of sites that left unused and dilapidated. So using this tool, we also try to passportizate all these sites, and we can have some ideas, overview of their numbers and ideas how to use them in the future. So this is the connection between this tool and the project Greenhouse. Sorry, the project Origin. So the next tool, RISK, as we call it, this is the tool to collect project proposals and also communicate with all the levels of municipalities and so on in our region. Not only villages and towns can put their project proposals, but also any socioeconomic partners can put their project proposal. We take them into account, and on this data, we work with our strategic plans for the region. As you can see on the left, it has been launched in February 2023, so now it will be 1 year since the launch. And we have already 1,200 project proposals collected, and it is connected to the GeoPortal, so we can visualize that as well. Here are some examples how we also use the GeoPortal from data from that GeoPortal. We have created some analysis about demographic, about civil, about what people have. I'm sorry. About tourism and culture, economic, spatial planning, and also some biodiversity, environmental analysis. And here are some plans for the near future. So it is up to us how the GeoPortal on risk will be used to meet the needs of the ORIGINN project. The GeoPortal can display any spatial data in vector format. And we are considering in near future these two projects, mapping of the brownfields, as was mentioned before, in cooperation with the university. We have Union Prešov, and also creating a map of the spatial distribution of the producers and consumers that can be beneficial for the project. So any questions for anybody? So it would be all from me, and if you have any questions, I will try to answer them.
Thank you, Natalia. Thank you for a very quick and nice presentation. So, any questions? Anybody?
I have one question.
Yes, sorry.
Is this tool, the first tool you mentioned, the BI and the dashboards or something like that, is this somehow connected to rural proofing? This is a European, in the European level, this is quite known thing, rural proofing data. It's the rural proofing that is meant to be how to say, to promote or to serve the political decision makers, that how to guarantee that fundings and political decisions also are not harmful to the regional areas and rural areas.
Well, from my part, I haven't heard about this rural proofing, but maybe some of my colleagues who should be here can answer that. Maybe Stanislav. Stano, are you here? Or Lukáš, can you answer this question? So no, but I will definitely check this, and during the next presentation, I can check this and come back to you with the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Any other questions? I've got a question. You also mentioned that you are using open data so that everybody, also the public people, can access the data. Do you have a kind of experience where private companies have used the data and then also use this data in their own business development and then business case there?
Oh, well, we don't follow this. I would say that we know that a number of people who are using this GeoPortal and this data, but I don't think that we keep any trace about how they use them.
Okay. Very good. Thank you very much. We are spot on time, so we would actually have time for another question if anybody would like, but if not, we can do it later as well, and then we can move on to the Centru region, and we have Mr. Dan Zbuchea next.
Yes.
And
yeah, thank you very much for your introduction. My name is Dan Zbuchea. It's quite a challenge to pronounce it correctly. I will share my presentation, or at least try to do it.
If I can ask Natalia to stop sharing. Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect. Now we see.
Okay, that's perfect. I will present in a few words our main program here at the RDI Centru, beginning with the current programming period. We are managing authority for the regional program. It is called the Region of Centru. It is allocated with 1.4 billion euros, including ERDF and the state budget contribution. It consists of 9 main priority for financing, ranging from competitiveness, and the first one, regional digital development, environmentally friendly actions, sustainable urban mobility, also connection between different areas around the region. We also support education in our region and sustainable tourism. The 9th priority intervention is allocated for our functioning as a managing body. We have a vision to help develop a clean, attractive, competitive region with great care for environment and rational and sustainable use of our resources. Okay, in our meeting for the next few minutes, we will focus on the financing of digital solutions. We have allocated almost 81 million euros within this priority, gaining or hoping to gain some benefits for public administration and also regional business environment. The types of interventions within this priority ranges from digital solutions for local public services, including support for smart cities actions and interventions, digitalization of SMEs, and also we support the development of a regional pilot smart city open innovation platform, which will act as a marketplace for parties interested in developing apps for smart city and those who are eager to implement them. The justification for these kind of interventions are based on the DESI reports carried out by the European Commission. As you might have seen in my previous speaker's presentation, Marius Duca, Romania is constantly on the bottom of the picture. In these reports, it shares the last two places along with Bulgaria almost every year. Also, the European semester doesn't share good light in what we are concerned. Also, to see on the spot about this info, we carried out around 2 or 3 years ago a study, a regional study, which confirmed all these data seen in the DESI reports and the European semester. Undoubtedly, there is a need to accelerate the uptake of digitalization in public services and also in the private sector. We predict to have 3 calls for project financing. One of them is already active, and 2 guidelines for the next calls of projects are in preparation. The first call of the priority aims the digital communities and smart city solutions. It is oriented towards the municipalities in the Centru region and also rural communities. The call allocation is a little bit more than 45 million euros, with a minimum amount of grant requested per project of 15,000, going up to €500,000 grant. The core activities supported in such projects for communities are the development of digital solutions and public services coming towards the needs of the community, of the citizens. The services must prove they are oriented towards the citizen as their main customer. And also the development of smart city solutions, which also have to obey the same rules, namely going and being in the support of the citizens of the community. One major aspect of this call is that it cannot finance the implementation of the solution. The financing goes from the development of the idea for such a solution up to the testing and piloting it. The beneficiary of the financing will have to develop and implement the solution later on, after this project granted is already done. Other activities being complementary to the main activity refers to cooperation, transnational cooperation with similar bodies from abroad, from the European economic space, and also the SWERD area. The consultancy services for developing and project managing of the project, and also PR activities. As I've already said, the type of applicants may vary from local authorities, urban or rural, and also county level administrations, meaning that 6 county councils within the Centru region. The call is a competitive one with a submission deadline. The minimum quality threshold for receiving financing of a project must be at 50 points out of a total of 100 points. And we have estimated the date for launching the call as April this year. In the program, we have assumed a number of 30 public institutions to develop new or highly improved digital solutions. This target value must be reached by 2029. Outcome indicators also predict around 96,000 users for the newly developed or highly improved digital solutions. We have here some examples for the eligibility criteria of a project. It has to go within the interval of minimum and maximum value of the grant requested. The implementation period must be reasonable and not exceed 31 December of 2029. The project implementation site should be within the Centru region. The project has to comply with the principle of sustainable development, equal opportunities for all users, gender equality, accessibility, and non-discrimination, as they are foreseen and largely described by European Commission's documents. The project also has to comply with sustainable development, environmental protection, and energy efficiency principles. Going further to the selection criteria, which is made upon a grid of 19 sub-criteria grouped in 4 major criteria. We have the contribution of the project to the achievement to the specific objectives of the investment priority. The criteria sums up to 50% of the total score. The second main criterion refers to quality, maturity, and sustainability of the project, which sums up 40% of the total score. The contribution to the horizontal principles, as I already mentioned them, are scored with 5%. And the strategic focus of his investment and also connection with other main projects in the area of digitalization sums up to 5%. Some of these criterions are self-assessed by the applicant, which means they are digitized. Once the project form is submitted in the SME's application, it is possible for the applicant to see its score as it is described in the financing. Excuse my lack of idea. Well, the fact is, the applicant is able to see how much of the grid criterions are already met in the moment of submitting the application. Later on, a team of independent assessors are going to confirm or infirm this project score the applicant has foreseen. Next on, we have the call for projects for private sector. This call is already launched, going up to 15 of May this year. It has the objective to support digitalization in the SMEs of the Centru region with economic activity out of the ICT sector. It encourages and helps SMEs to adopt and use digital technologies and also to develop skills for using these digital technologies and also for industrial transition skills and entrepreneurship. As it might be also recognized, the SMEs are formed by 3 major groups of enterprises: micro enterprises with up to 10 employees, small enterprises with a number of employees between 10 and 25, and medium-sized enterprises, which may go up to 249 employees. The total budget allocated for this call is roundly more than 32 million euros. ERDF support is at a percent of 85, and the national budget, state budget, also comes with almost 5 million euros, which is roughly 15% of the total allocation. The call is also competitive, with a deadline of submitting the grant applications. The minimum grant amount is of 15,000 euros. It can go up to 200k euros under de minimis the de minimis scheme approved by the Competitiveness Council here in Romania. The grant assistance may go up to 90% of the total eligible amount of expenditures. Also, respecting, having in mind with the threshold of 200,000 euros de minimis threshold. The applicant contribution to the eligible expenditure must be of minimum 10%. It may go upper than this, and it can be also rewarded on the grid of evaluation if it goes up to 20% of the total eligible amount. I think I'm blocked. Okay, got it. The core activities for this project are the investments mainly in intangible assets, and this means software and applications which run on digital devices, and also devices for these softwares to work on. The solutions, the digital solutions may include simple or complex artificial intelligence. It may serve to the digital communication with suppliers, customers, and other third parties. Another main activity, which I've already mentioned, is the training activities for the employees going to use these digital applications acquired within the project. It is desirable for us and for the whole range of parties involved in these calls to reach us as many criterions described in the DESI Digital Economy and Society Index as they are described in 2019. Projects not involving investments in intangible assets are not eligible for financing. And also there is a main condition for the beneficiary to acquire the intangible assets in form of a license, and the license must be also registered in the beneficiary's accountability as a fixed asset. So subscriptions as SaaS are not eligible within this call. For the micro enterprises, the grant given must remain in the urban area. Why is this delimitation made is because the regional program which we are managing is mainly oriented towards the urban.
Minu oma jah, on küll oluline. Kus oli?
The urban area. For the rural micro enterprises, there are financing opportunities within the National Strategic Plan, which is the program financed under the Agricultural and Rural Development Fund of the European Union here in Romania. The assumed indicators at the level of the program aims at least 214 number of enterprises supported, out of which 150 are envisioned to invest in skills for their employees. The users of enhanced digital services may go upper than 428. Businesses achieving a high level of digital intensity, which means having more than 7 criterions out of 12 DESI criterions met, are set as 107, and employees receiving skills improving trainings are foreseen at 300. I will end with my presentation here, and I eagerly wait for your questions to have a talk.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you. Very interesting overview of your programs. I'm really tempted to see what are the results in the end. Would be really interesting. Any questions? Just a short question I can give to somebody. If not, then we can share also the questions in the chat, because thank you, Natalia, for answering the question which Rando asked, and then you were asking also about our experience on the rural proofing. We actually have another Interreg project on the rural proofing, so we can share the information about that. Okay, dear colleagues, I hope you are nicely back. You got your coffee, and we can go on. And next on our list is Eoghan McCarthy from Ireland about the Regional Development Monitor. Maybe it also shares a little bit of our the light on the rural proofing question as well. But Eoghan, please.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'll just get this presentation up now.
You see your screen, yes, and it's not in the presentation mode yet.
Waiting for it. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, great. Sorry, 1 moment. Sorry, I'm just having a few issues with my screen here. Hey, can people see that okay?
Yes, it's
great.
Very good, yeah.
I cannot, sorry, I'm just having a few problems with my... Sorry, excuse me. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Okay, great. We're there. So yes, yeah, I'm just going to introduce the Regional Development Monitor today. So the Regional Development Monitor it's a publicly accessible data-driven website that provides national mapping and data visualization tools designed to enhance our understanding of key societal trends in Ireland and to aid informed policy development, implementation and decision-making across our regions. So Ireland is made up of 3 NUTS2 regions, and they're administered by the Southern Region Assembly, the Northern and Western Region Assembly, and then the Eastern and Midland Region Assembly. So this resource was a collaboration between all 3 regional assemblies and ourselves, AIRO, the All Ireland Research Observatory, and we're based in Maynooth University. So it's essentially the biggest open data hub in the state. It was initially designed to assist with the monitoring and implementation of the regional spatial and economic strategies. It also plays a wider role in assisting government departments, local authorities, planners, policymakers, researchers, elected members and members of the public in providing access to data, information and tools for enhanced and better decision making. It's hosted on the GeoHive platform. So this is Tall-to-Air, and these are our Tall-to-Air, our national mapping agency. So the RDM, it's running on a national data infrastructure, which means it's a robust, reliable and supported tool. It was launched in November 2022. So what the Regional Development Monitor does, it provides us with the data and information that we need to know. So what I mean by that is it's a curated resource. There's obviously, as with every year, there's enhanced access to data. There's more and more data, but this resource, it was a curated resource. It was a co-creation initiative between ourselves, I suppose, as the data experts, and the regional assemblies as the policy experts. So we identified a set of in and around 60 indicators that have been determined as they're important for understanding the development of our regions and geographies. We can drown in data if we provide too much. So this was more of a curated attempt at identifying the select indicators that will give us the information and tell us what we need to know. The data we have, it's visualized in a series of publicly accessible dashboards and mapping tools. So when I say publicly accessible, I mean anyone can log on and access, but also they're publicly accessible in a technical sense, that we've gone for a very simple, non-technical approach. One of the great barriers for people accessing data and engaging with data is they don't have the time, capacity, skill sets, software to go in, download data, manipulate it, clean it, and then present it in the way they want. So the way RDM works, that it is very simple, it's very accessible, and it's got enabled open data services to allow people to view it or to take it themselves or to consume it within external tools. Just to touch on the RDM and why it was developed in a national and regional policy context. In Ireland, our strategic planning policy framework operates in the sense that at the very top, we have our national planning framework, and this was launched in 2018, and this sets out our overall strategic vision for the country to the year 2040. Following the launch of this document, we had the production of the regional spatial and economic strategies. So these strategies set out the regional development framework for each region, and their primary aim is to implement the MPF. So an important legislative feature of these strategies is that all of our local plans must be consistent with the RESIS. So the regional spatial and economic strategies play a really important role in our overall planning context and in establishing the future direction of the country. So with these documents, like so many policy and strategy documents, they are formed and developed on a robust evidence base. The issue often arises then is as you implement what is in these documents, you don't have the evidence base to monitor their implementation, to ensure you're essentially doing what you'll say you do. So the ORDM was really developed to assist with that, with a focus on time series data. It's a live tool, so it will enable the forward monitoring of the implementation of these strategies. So the three strategies, they're underpinned by three cross-cutting principles that reflect the three pillars of sustainability. So our social, environmental, and economic side. So the monitor is structured in that way. So we're presenting our data across those three themes, focusing on our people in place, our green and sustainable future, and our region's economy. Like so many of these data resources, data hubs, data sites, they're modular, so they can be added to, they can be enhanced over time. So we're also doing that, and we're providing data looking at our all-island perspective, so looking at the cross-border data in Ireland, and also we're bringing in the we're integrating the S3 smart specialization indicators at the minute. Beyond the role the ORDM plays in terms of our regional strategies, there is a wider requirement for our evidence base to support all our new policy developments and initiatives, and that moves beyond the regional. At our local level, we have our county development plans, we have our local economic and community plans, we have our climate action plans, our housing plans, our renewable energy strategies, emission strategies. At a local level, our funding calls. At a charitable level, we have our funding calls. There's such demand. Everything requires an evidence base now, and it's a big ask. It's very time consuming. It requires a specialist skill set, and it's ever changing. Data flows are ever changing. So ORDM tries to provide this data across these needs to our multiple users beyond the region to a local level. What we've tried to build here is a central data analytics and monitoring platform that all society can access. And this is why it's a central tool. That's why it's sitting on government infrastructure, that it's a resource that people can go into without the skills for manipulating, cleaning, analyzing data, and they can go in and they can get those headline figures, whether it's a population figure or whether it's a more detailed metric that aligns with policy. It's there and it's accessible. And we're also providing training at a local level, within local authorities and regional authorities. A few other details on the monitor. I'm going to jump on and give a sample now. And I know we're talking about rural digitization, so I'll try and touch on a few examples that show how we can look at our regional figures and drill down to a more local level. The ORDM is built only on authoritative national open data sets, so it's running on open data. Very often we'd add value to those open data sets, and but they're all open, they're all accessible, they're repeatable, and they're robust. The ORDM it has been classified as and it's on the register of official statistics by the CSO, so they're our national statistical agency in Ireland. It's a live tool, so data is updated when it's released, whether it's monthly, quarterly, annual, or inter-censal data. It's a live tool, so that plays such an important role, and there's such an important time series focus on it. We present data at a minimum. We're talking about the regions, so we're presenting data at our NUTS 2 level, our NUTS 3 level, and then at a local authority at the minimum. Obviously, there's a lot of data with the spatial element, the geospatial element, so we're including that where we can. And as I mentioned, there's quite a heavy focus on time series. So I'm just going to jump on, if my screen sharing will allow me, and give a very quick tour of the monitor. So can you see my browser screen okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. So this is the Regional Development Monitor. We have our three core themes. So just for example, show our people and places. So within this section, we have data on demographics, housing market completions, commuting congestion, we've compact growth, we've urban rural housing completions, residential stock, we've data on our health infrastructure, our services, our litter, We have data on our artistic communities, cultural attractions. So this is focusing on the socio-demographics, our people and our places. So at the very simplest level, just to give an example of how these dashboards work, I'll look at our overall census population profile. So as I mentioned, we're producing data for our 3 regional authorities and across these core geographies. So our regional authorities, which we have 3, are NUTS 2, then we've got our NUTS 3 regions, and then we can bring in our county level data if we wish. We can also cut our data by our regions. So we've got our Eastern and Midland, our Northern and Western and Southern. So let's just pick one, and we can look at the population distribution, change of population. All of our filters have been laid out in a consistent fashion. Our dashboards are consistent so that end users can go in, they know how they can select the data, what they can select. To enhance, I suppose, the information that we're providing here, we're including geospatial information. So you can drill down and you can look on a local level. I just have a preloaded here. You can go from looking at the overall regional distribution, and you can drill down and you can look at the local level data. So this is looking at the same data. This is looking at your population distributions, and I'm just looking at the west of Ireland, the red areas highlighting where we've got population decline. So you can so you can look at your regional data, and you can look at your overall population, and then you can drill down and see, okay, well, what are we getting at a local level? You can click on an area and you'll get a profile of the population change. So you can go from really, what we're trying to do here is to present the macro to the micro. I just want to give another example. Teams is making life very hard for me today. So looking at rural digitization, we can look at our broadband distribution in Ireland. So our next section, our economic section, where we've got data on our labour market, commercial activity, FDI, our education profiles, deprivation, homelessness. We look at international connectivity, passenger numbers, flight travel, accessibility, broadband access. So I'll just look at broadband very quickly. Again, we're just trying to show very simple graphics, very, very accessible. And I'll just look at the distribution of broadband, so wired and unwired broadband. So it's very simple. We can look at our fixed broadband. We can look at the distribution across this region, and then we can transition over to our map and we can look at that at a local level. So we can see Ireland, it's very clear. We've got our 3 cities. We've got Dublin, Cork, Galway, well, 4 cities and Limerick. So you can see the dark areas very clearly. That's where we're obviously going to have our highest levels of fixed broadband. But then in our rural areas, such as Donegal, our peripheral areas, you can see we've got much lower levels. So again, you can click on an area and you can see that this area has 40% of households with broadband. There's 57 households in this area. 23 of them have broadband. So again, you can move from the macro to see, okay, in this local authority, this county, this region, we've on average 70%, but actually in these local areas, we've got much lower. So it's very simple stuff, but people who need to develop an evidence baseline, they can go in very quickly and get these headline figures without having to do any of the grunt work in the background. So I think I'm probably pushing it on time now, so I'm gonna leave it there and not show any more examples. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Eoghan, and really interesting presentation. We all know that we get what we can measure, and this is really a good knowledge everybody should have, and we hope that we are someday going there as well. Anybody has any questions?
Yes, I would like to ask you where from are coming the datas for you are collecting? From directly from local authority, or you are using also more detailed information?
So a lot of the data would come from our National Statistical Agency, the CSO. They would provide a lot, but then we have a lot of different organizations, whether it's environmental, economic, or government bodies who are collecting data at a national level. So this resource, it is operating at a national level, and we're cutting it by different geographies. So we are, capturing it from a broad series of agencies, a lot of them government agencies across the different sectors, whether it's economic, environmental. We've a very good and we've a very detailed and accessible census in Ireland that's taken every 5 years, and it's provided at a whole series of geographies. So we can pull almost 900 individual indicators there, and we can produce maps at a very local level. So it's a very rich. I suppose we've the benefit of being a small country, so we can map everything nationally. We can present figures nationally, so that helps. But there's quite a few different statistical agencies that we're engaging with, but it's all open, accessible data. We do a lot of work in the data to add value to it and to add metrics, comparators, and that kind of thing, or regional aggregations. But fundamentally, it is open data.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
You're
Thank you very much. And I would have questions for 2 hours or so, but unfortunately we have to rush on because otherwise we are already a little bit behind. So our next speaker is Miss Sonia Gratacós, and I think it's from Catalan region regarding digital transformation, support schemes, initiatives for Catalan rural enterprises.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Okay, I'm going to share my presentation.
And we have about 15 minutes for the presentation each, including the discussion. So then we will be about a few minutes over our time. So I hope that's okay. So please, yes, we see the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Sonia Gratacós. I'm an officer at the Knowledge and Innovation Service. I'm here on behalf of the Catalan Government, representing the Department of Climate Action, Food and Rural Agenda. Okay, among all the good practices that identify in the territory, we will explain what the Rural CAT platform is, the services and tools that we can access through it, such as knowledge transfer, trainings, and decision-making support tools, and some awards. This platform is a digital infrastructure or a set of technologies that enable to development and deployment of application, allowing users to platform multiply functions, collaborate, and engage in various activities. Okay, what is Rural CAT? Rural CAT is the technical current platform of our department. I'm at agricultural, forestry, and fishing professionals in Catalonia. It is a knowledge transfer website that allows people in the territory to get informed and trained without having to travel. We can also find updated information daily through news, posts, and information from social media. Okay, have tools and services to add decision making. As you can see in the 2023 infographic here in the screen, we are going to highlight some information. The annual page views is more than 2 million users, and the registered users is almost 70,000. In 2023, it celebrates 20 years of the platform, and Rural CAT works with open source and free software to provide service and access to everyone. Okay, now I will explain a bit about the structure of the website. On the main page, and we find features news on the slider. On the right side, we have an agenda for all activities that take place, and whether they are training, conference, or other related events. We also have 15 virtual office, which can be of a specific theme or sector. These offices are coordinated by experts in each subject who works in various services of our department. If we scroll down, we can find a section dedicated to all the news we post. Approximately around 300 news items per year. On the right side, there are videos of the target lifelong training courses that have been conducted online, which we will explain later. Below, there are direct links to additional sections of the website to make it easier for users to find different information that may interest them. Okay, other sections that we can find include reports, interviews, technical articles, and visions and access to social media. Okay, additionally, we have a weekly newsletter that it sends to more than 20,000 different mails address. And in this newsletter, you will find the most prominent information published during the week. This way, we emphasize the most relevant workshops, news tools, and events. Okay, about the knowledge transfer. And within the Rural CAT, we find the virtual office. It's ICAT network. In Catalan, it's Xarxa ICAT. And it is a space for the transfer for innovation project. And it is a part of the European Innovation Partnership Network, EIP Agri. In the information section, we can find technical dossier, article sheets, interviews, reports, and infographics and videos. Okay, about the virtual office, as you know, for all the measures co-funded by the European Union, it is a requirement to carry out dissemination. For this purpose, we have the ICAT network, where we find operational groups. Okay, is an instrument for empowering the agri-food and forestry sector in the innovation methods. Demonstrative activities. The purpose is to transfer of technical and managed knowledge adapted to the territorial and sector realities. These two measures are support programs that we manage from the department. And the last one, the European projects, is a project in which the department participates, like ORIGINN. Okay, about the information section, as example, I'm going to say some data about technical dossiers. In 20 years, have been produced 125 monographs, and we have some translated in English and in Spanish. About the videos, another noteworthy section is the record videos of online conference. These videos allows users who couldn't connect to the online sessions to watch it at their convenience. And we have almost 800 videos posted, and in 2023, we had more than 35,000 views. Okay, about the training, now we will explain the structure of the courses that we have in our department and their relation with Rural CAT platform. For one hand, we have the vocational training programs. We have two types of trainings, intermediate level and advanced, and these trainings depends on the agricultural school. The department have 15 schools, and each school specializes in different areas such as viticulture, horticulture, agriculture, production, and others. One of the 15 schools focus on the news technologies. Okay, about the target life and long training. The long training can be in person at the agricultural schools or online. In the latter case, it will be distance learning. It's around 10 till 60 hours for course. About the target life, we focus in the path. It's our annual plan of technology transfer. The path trainings are a program with the collaboration and participation of more than 250 entities and organizations in the agri-food and forestry sector, business, universities, research centers, and other administrations. It's a short training, like a one-day meeting, debate, short working days, dissemination sessions, work days with experts. They can be in person at different locations in the territory or online. And the Innovation Service coordinates this type of courses. And the last one is other specific courses, and that it's example tailored to the needs of the sector, like hygiene in primary production in fishing. Okay, here it's in Rural CAT, we can find access to the different type of courses that I just have explained. And here they are classified by colors. Yellow represents the target life courses, which are managed by the Innovation Service that I say. And these courses are intended for people working in the sector. The blue one represents the long training managed by agricultural schools. All these courses are exclusively online and are aimed at the people working in the sector. And to enroll in these two courses, you must register through Rural CAT. Also, we manage the courses through Moodle or Adobe Connect, which is a webinar platform. In the red section, we can find information about the agricultural schools. In the orange section, we find the vocational training, and it's coordinated by the agrarian schools. And in the blue one, the last, and we can find other specific courses. Okay, out of the 15 agricultural schools I mentioned early, and the latest school that have been created is the one in Cambriel. It is noteworthy and mention because it focused on new technologies. This academic year, they have created a new course on Agriculture 4.0, digital transformation of the sector. They cover topics such as precision agriculture, robotic and automation, artificial intelligence and data processing, cybersecurity and blockchain, digitization and sustainability. And they assist business in development as a strategy for digitalization, coordination, and implementations. This course is offered both online and in person. Okay, about the decision-making support tool, these tools offer to support decision-making. Well, these tools are developed by our team with the assistance of a specialist in each field. Everyone has accessibility to these tools, and it's for free. Okay, about the irrigation tool, is a characteristic of crop with water forecast gives you irrigation. It's a tool for agriculture and gardening, and you need to enter farm data and the cultivation system. It's a tool, they say is a tool recommendation, amount of irrigation water to apply. And at this moment in Catalonia, we have experiencing a severe drought since it is raining very little. So this is a very good tool to better control water consume. For another hand, we have phytosanitary alert. It's a type of crop and location with weather forecast and knowledge of climatic data from the last days, inform you about the forecast of a possibility pest or disease attack. is a tool for agriculture, and you need to. It's a tool alert, pest or this. The alert is a pest or disease, and notification by mail. To have all this data, these tools obtain information from the meteorological services of Catalonia. It's a Meteocat, and you have here the link if you want to check. Okay, about the calculator, the last tool that we have is a tool for business self-assessment. At this moment, we have two tools. The SFG is self-assessment for agri-food industry, and the food waste that we are in progress, so it's coming soon. Okay, about we're going to talk about in the platform, in the Rural Cat platform, the irrigation tool. Under the tool services, you can find the irrigation tool. Okay, you can check how it works by following the link. And also you can find an infographic about the irrigation tool that explain what you need to do. Okay, for another hand, about the phytosanitary service, you need to enter your location, type of crop, and which size pest you want to know about. And it gives you to the probability of experiencing it. As example, on the right side, the screenshot shows the pest for fruit trees. Okay, and finally, let me explain PITA and Rural Apps Awards. About the PITA Awards, these awards is our department aim to promote the incorporation of innovation for the competitiveness and sustainability of the agri-food sector. It's our business that have incorporated innovation representing a new product, process, or management for company. The award consists of three categories: one of the agricultural business, one of the agro industry, and one of the innovative young entrepreneur. The awards are endowed with the amount of 8,000 euros for each of the winners and 4,000 euros for each of the finalists. About the Rural App Awards, these are awards for innovation, technological solutions, and improvement in the digital field, mobile application related to the agricultural, agri-food, and rural sector. And the prize amount is 5,000 for the winner enterprise and 2,000 for the finalists for each of the two categories. Okay, and to conclude, we emphasize that we have chosen these resources as it is the powerful one we have. It includes information, tools, and services to help users start or improve their activity, continue their trainings, and adapt to change in both the sector and society. Rural Cat is a global platform that responds to the need of the agri-food, forestry, and fishing sector of Catalonia, knowledge and information transfer, detailing training both online and in person, decision-making support tools, and initiative and awards to promote digitization and business. And you can visit our platform and check all that I just explained. And thank you sincerely for your attention.
Thank you very much, Sonia, and thank you for this very comprehensive and nice overview of the very kind of common system of the training and information transfer. I just wanted to ask myself whether the decision-making tools, whether they are compulsory to the farmer or not.
Elvi, can you repeat, please?
If the decision-making tools about the phytosanitary and then the irrigation, are they compulsory for the farmer? Do they have to use them, or it's a kind of possibility which they can use?
No, it's a kind of possibility that you can use. Yeah. It's a choice. Okay, it's a free choice.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions? If not, then thank you very much.
I forgot to take a mic off. I have one question that is this solution somehow connected to EU Farm Book? This is something like a knowledge transfer project developed by EU, but it's project based, and it's also something like they also try to collect all possible. They are making like a library of the scientific works and everything like that, and just try to make it available for all sector needs. Okay, if you don't have the connection, then no problem.
Yeah. Hi, good morning to everyone. Yeah, it is similar to EU Farm Book, but at Catalan, to the Catalan region or for all Europe. And what else? And we are participating in this project also. Another service of the department, because we are very big, is participating. So I don't know if I have answered your question or not.
Yeah, of course.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then it's time to go to the good practices and project implementation ideas. And we have a possibility to go to Italy this time. And then Dr. Marco Fossini from Italy, Ferrara Province. Please, the floor is yours.
Hello, good morning, everyone. And first of all, thank you very much for the invitation. And I'd like also to thank the Emilia-Romagna Regional Administration for this invitation. In my presentation, I'd like to focus on the role of Clust-ER Agrifood within the regional ecosystem, and also to go more in detail about some good practices for the strengthening of socioeconomic activities in some specific provinces of our region. We are one of the 11 clusters of the region of Emilia-Romagna, as you can see, and the aim of our no-profit association is to strengthen the collaboration and the promotion of innovation for the agri-food value chains, and to interact with the other actors of our region, not only the regional administration, but also relevant technopoles, research centers, and the university system. We have 97 members. We are a public-private multi-actor structure, and we have also 4 thematic priorities, as you can see in the central part of the slide, from the sustainable agriculture to the valorization of byproducts and waste. What we do, we support our members.
Marco, excuse me, no slides can be seen. You have to upload the slides.
If you can start sharing, because we saw in a break time, we saw your slides, but as somebody else was sharing in the meantime, so that's sharing.
Maybe I can. What about now? Are you seeing my presentation?
No.
Can you see this presentation now? No.
No.
Not yet, Marco.
Maybe you can just stop sharing and then start sharing again, then because we saw them during a break. So
yeah, before they were walking.
Yes. What about now? No.
Yes, we can see the full screen now, but
Okay.
Yes, that's very good.
That's going on.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Marco.
Now, are you able to see the slide related to the
minions?
No, it's okay, Marco. You can go on. Thank you.
Okay. So, what we do? We support our 97 members in specific strategic projects about application of technologies, including digital technologies, in their value chains. We support the Emilia-Romagna region in the internationalization policies and also in the update of the S3, regional S3. And we participate in several relevant national and international networks, including 4 S3 EU thematic platforms. Can you see now the slide of the regional strategies? Here, I would like to draw your attention on the plurality of the instruments and tools for the promotion of innovation at the regional level. And for example, ERDF for the period 21-27 has 1 billion euros at disposal. And in a few minutes, we will see the example of some specific measures for more attractiveness and development of the territory. One of these instruments is ATUS, which is the acronym for Urban Transformative Agendas for Sustainable Development. And here the aim is to increase the attractiveness of the territories and to reduce the disparity among them, utilizing mainly sort of participatory process and public-private partnership for the specific projects. For example, in the city of Ferrara, we are implementing the project about a better urbanity and sustainable transition, enhancing the availability and usability of the historic center for citizens and tourists, and creating also multi-target digital communities, in particular for women, for the gender policies. 11 million euros is the budget for this specific project. And the other instrument is support to the internal and mountain areas, including the province of Ferrara, which that you can see in the northeastern part of the region, close to the Po River. And in this case, in the province of Ferrara, 14 projects are ongoing, including startups, the valorization of startups and tourism attractiveness, and also support to young families and women. 9 million euros are devoted to these projects. In summary, the first measure has the availability of 164 million euros, whereas which is devoted particularly to urban regeneration. The second measure has 91 million euros for the public areas requalification and also tourism attractiveness. Some data about the Ferrara province. Of course, I can leave this presentation to you for your attention. And in this case, the main threats and risks are concentrated on a sort of industrial desertification and also the demographic winter, the so-called demographic winter. As you can see, in Emilia-Romagna, there are 190 elder people every 100 young people. And in some areas of the province of Ferrara, the index is 400, over 400. So it is a very high problem that the regional administration is trying to solve with specific focused interventions and calls. Of course, the importance of the Ferrara province is also related to the huge UNESCO Heritage Award, not only for the center of the city of Ferrara, but also for the Delta Po area. And here, of course, these threats are pointed out, as you can see in the top right table. The white part of the Ferrara province means that the trend of the young population between 0 and 14 years is a negative trend, and also school dropout as an important problem. Of course, some best practices that have to aim to reduce these problems and to enhance the also industrial symbiosis at the local level and virtuous circular economy projects. The first project is Aquaculture 4.0. It was one of the 28 innovation experiments within the Horizon project, Smart Agri-Hubs, the only regarding aquaculture, coordinated by Ferrara University and Terra Aquatech with the support of private companies, technology transfer companies, and also end users and fish farmers, as you can see. The aim was to create and implement a sort of tool, digital tool, in order to optimize the monitoring of the waters for the aquaculture production, and to contrast some of the huge problems about, for example, the sea level rise, and also the presence of microplastics in the waters, with a consistent threat to the aquaculture productions, in particular clams and mussels. And thanks to this tool, it has been possible to improve the monitoring of the waters and to also determine emerging contaminants of the waters, like, for example, microplastics, and also to certificate the products, in this case of aquaculture and fish. Of course, the starting TRL was 4, and at the end of the project we reached the TRL 7. So application of the tool in relevant environments, with activities of setting up, calibration, and better functioning of the tool. This is a very important opportunity also for research activities, and also for the availability of the more than 1,700 small farmers in the area. The second project, very quickly, is related to valorization of byproducts, also thanks to the use use of a specific software, Super Pro Designer, at the disposal of the Parma University. The objective, as you can see, is to obtain high added value compounds from some byproducts to be utilized for not only for food, but also in particular for cosmetics and pharmaceutics. And the area is within the Ferrara Province in the municipalities of Argenta, Ostellato, and Portomaggiore. The byproducts utilized within a range of around 50 kilometers are wheat bran, tomato peels, quinoa, and couscous. And with abundant availabilities for this feasibility study. Of course, the Parma University team has worked on the feasibility of all the process and also about the identification of minimum values for the economic feasibility of the project itself. Here you can see that the minimum value in the market is allowing the economic feasibility, at least for the wheat bran and for quinoa productions, and with a payback period of around 4.5 to 5 years, and with the possibility to produce relevant high added value compounds like lactic acid, fermented, and fermentable sugars. In conclusion, of course, it is important to underline the huge scenario of measures and of public funding at the disposal of the stakeholders of our region to improve the territorial strategies and also to reduce the disparities among the local territories. It is important also to guarantee a convergence of funds, including public and private funding together, to be addressed on specific key projects, with the importance of improve dialogue and participation of all the stakeholders of the region. And of course, digitalization and valorization of byproducts are key elements for an importance valorization of the local productions and to reduce the so-called industrial desertification, which affects some parts of this region. Thanks for your attention, and of course we are also available to evaluate collaborations with your ecosystems and with other relevant clusters in Europe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Faustini, for this interesting and very elaborate presentation, and also very precise examples, and also to the business. It's really interesting to see. Do we have any questions? If not currently, then we are almost at the time of our planned seminar time, but we still have one really interesting presentation, and we have then the conclusion to make. I hope we can still take everybody about 15 to 20 minutes to stay a little bit longer than we planned. So sorry for the bad time management, but I think we are actually running quite good. But now we are going to Sweden, and And we have also a very interesting presentation from Amelie Rahbek. Please. Yes, we see already the presentation.
Thank you, and thank you for a really great seminar or webinar. My colleague Maria is sharing the screen. So thank you for that, Maria. I'm going to talk about delbart, which in Swedish roughly translates to shareable. And my name is Amelie Rahbek. I work for the Region of Jämtland Härjedalen as a Digitization Coordinator and also Coordinator for Smart Specialization. And this is a best practice that is it's a bit of a baby. It's quite small yet, but we're hoping to scale it up. And it's a series of inspirational talks with a touch of digitization. That's how we've been talking about it. You can take the next slide, please. Thank you. So why do we do this? Well, the purpose is to inspire our small and medium-sized enterprises, members of academia, public organizations in our county to ideate and expand their networks. We also want to create a glimpse and hopefully a sense of a feeling of agglomeration that may occur in densely populated areas, but not in ours, really. Thank you, Maria. So in Jämtland Härjedalen County, to give you an understanding of where we are and how geographically large we are, I want to show you this picture. So you see the county in the middle of Sweden geographically, and we are about 132,000 inhabitants. We have 8 municipalities, and Östersund, our only city, and there we have 1 university, and we have several local and national government agencies as well. We're a sparsely populated countryside, and we have people that live and work all across the entire county, but we don't really reap the benefits of agglomeration very often. So we'll take a look at another perspective on the next slide. So here we have the outlining of our county, but on a map of Europe, parts of Europe. You have the Netherlands on top there and Germany to your right, and you see Paris and London to the left. So to give you an idea of how geographically large we are and how many square kilometers we span. So here we can see 2 maps. Some of you have seen them already, but this shows us really that we have trade and industry all over our county. And on the map to your left, you can see all the different businesses scattered all over the county. And on the map to your right, you can see that the red dots, they are public sector companies or organizations, and the green ones are private ones. And we consist, our business world, we consist mainly of SMEs and also micro companies consisting of only 1 person. We have an entrepreneurial innovation ecosystem, and in 2021, so the numbers are a little bit off maybe, but we have roughly 10,400 registered businesses in the county, and then we are 132,000 inhabitants. So that's quite a lot, I would say. Thank you, Maria. So what is delbart and shareable now when you have an idea of our county? Well, it's very, very simple, the concept. It's a digital 50-minute meeting that we hold 4 times per year. And it is open to everyone. You just need to register and log on. We have on each meeting about 3 to 4 people talking, sharing an idea, a practice of theirs, maybe a finding or a failure related to digitization. And these people and what they're going to talk about, they are not made public before. So when you log on to the meeting, you actually don't know what you're going to listen to. And I will get back to that a little bit later. And then attendees are encouraged to ask questions via the chat, and of course to reach out afterwards if they have any questions or ideas, or maybe they just want to network. So the idea really of this forum is to create a sort of digital melting pot of our collective knowledge and know-how in the county. So by inviting all of these amazing people that share their ideas, experiences, and knowledge, we want to create space and possibility for new contacts, thoughts, and business, of course. So when the meeting is over, it's up to each attendee to make use of the input they received and maybe get in contact with that interesting person they listened to. And here we have a quote from Gunnar Törnqvist. Access to creative people is, for the business world of today, what coal and iron once were for the steel industry. And Gunnar Törnqvist was a Swedish geographer, mainly interested in economic geography, and also a member of the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences. And you may know them by the Nobel Prize Awards in physics and chemistry, amongst other things. So what Gunnar is talking about here is that creativity and innovation studies, they show that diversity is a good thing. And since we are quite often stuck in our own bubbles of interest, our bubbles of work, or our bubbles geographically, we might benefit from sometimes breaking out of them and listen to people that we don't know, or maybe listen to people that we ourselves wouldn't have chosen to listen to if given the opportunity. And this is why we don't acknowledge beforehand who is talking or about what they will talk. Because I don't know about you, but then I have quite a stressful time at work sometimes. And then if I don't see that, okay, but this fits my idea of what I want or need to listen to perfectly, then I won't attend this seminar or this inspirational talk. But how do I know that if I don't listen to it? So an example is also writer's block, for example. If you have a deadline and you need to get something down on paper and you feel stressed, but you can't just get it out, or it doesn't come out the way you want it to. If you then take a break and you go take a walk or you go grab a snack, then all of a sudden you have started to mix those previous thoughts of your assignment, of the thing you will write, with others and other perspectives. And it's usually fixed. You get the idea and you can go back and write. And that is what delbart or shareable is really about. Next slide, please. So, as I said, it's a bit of a baby. We haven't been doing this for too long. It was launched in the spring of 2023, and we have held 3 meetings. Roughly 60 people from all sectors have attended, and we've seen some nice results. We have knowledge of new contacts that have been made. We have also knowledge about help that has been given, which is lovely. And also a check of 2,500 euro for a digital development has been awarded to one of the attendees as a direct effect of this forum. So that's really nice. And we're looking forward to continuing spreading the word, also scaling this up to other areas, not only digitization, to gain an even larger audience, of course. But this is something that we've created to get a sense of the benefits of agglomeration, because a business owner in the north of our county will rarely have the time to go into a business event or a business breakfast in our city or to some other place. So this is why we've created digital solution for that. And with all the digital tools of today, it's quite simple. You can just log on and listen in and take the appropriate actions that you yourself want to afterwards. So it's very, very open, very free way of creating a sense of belonging, even though you are very far apart geographically. Thank you very much for your kind attention. I will stop here. Maria, you can show them the last slide, please. Please feel free to contact me if you want to ask further questions than we have time for here today, or if you just want to talk.
Thank you very much, Amelie. We have introduced a very nice Swedish tradition of fika here in Estonia, and we are drinking a lot of coffee with that. But it seems we have to learn another word of pelbart as well. So it's really nice practice. Does anybody has any questions? Then I ask myself, how do you find the presenters or the people who want to speak, or is it easy, or you are kind of headhunting especially for inspiration people, or they can kind of come step forward on their own?
It's both, actually. Mostly we do headhunting and ask inspiring people or people who run great businesses that we would like to share. But I've also had some emails like, I was attending last time. Can we speak? We want to speak about this, or we want to share this. So there is an option of both.
Thank you.
I have a question. Yeah. It's really interesting project, and my question is related that is it okay? I understand that you are in the very beginning, but have you already have this practice, or maybe it's the plan to future to make it happen in that way that investors are listening to those ideas and being among the audience there. Sometimes investors, sometimes looking for the bright new ideas, and maybe this is one platform how to make this more valuable, to invite some investors to be in audience.
We have not done or thought about that yet, but thank you for the idea. That's a great one, and maybe also like an entirely new event for itself. But
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? If not, then I thank Amelie, of course, and from my side also to all the presenters for inspirational ideas and for keeping in time in general terms, but especially for the interesting presentation and then sharing of the ideas. I had several good ideas which we can implement right away, and also where we can plan a little bit longer ahead and take good practices back home. Thank you very much for that. But for the meeting wrap up and conclusions, I would like to give the word to Ovidia.
Thank you. I would like also to thank to all the participants. We had 90 participants. Sometimes now are a little bit less, but it was a good participation, and I think it's because of the topic. We heard about different examples of how digitalization its approach in European regions, partner in the project ORIGINN. And it's good to learn that digitalization it's a tool. It should be a tool to increase the attractiveness of rural areas, but also we need to have in mind that these areas are also a source of revitalization. We have to keep it also the identity of these rural areas because they are reminding us of our culture, of our identity, of our roots. I'm happy because we are partners from different countries with different administrative organization, and we notice, for instance, in Romania, where the regional the regions are not administrative but only statistical, that the cohesion policy and common agricultural policy were somehow broken. So for a long time, urban policy benefited from a lot of money from the cohesion policy, while rural, of course, mainly for agricultural activity, benefited from the funds allocated from the common agricultural policy. Now we see from the European Union that this approach for making this linkage between urban and rural more strong. We see a strategy, a willingness to connect it again and reduce these discrepancies that are in some areas very big, also in terms of economic opportunities, social opportunities, access to education and social services. It's very different, and people, of course, are choosing urban areas where they have these opportunities and chances to develop. The European funds also are giving emphasis, cohesion policies, more emphasis to urban territories, but we have examples even in my region where we choose to have a priority to support only rural areas, and the other priorities have rural as a cross-cutting beneficiary. For example, educational infrastructure is eligible also in rural areas. Digitalization is also extended to urban and rural. Support to SMEs, to innovation, research, development, and innovation. But we have also some financial support dedicated only to urban areas. So this webinar was a first one we organized within Origin project to talk about how we can do with digitalization to support more rural areas. The next webinars that we will organize in the coming semester will have a focus on sustainable businesses, social innovation businesses, and we can share also our practices, let's say maybe good practices, to learn from each other, because this is the purpose of the interregional cooperation. The good practices you saw today, but also other good examples we are collecting from our regions will be uploaded on the interregional learning platform, and they can be downloaded. You can see examples, more examples from different countries of how digitalization is approached. If you have comments, if you would like to have interventions, I'm warmly inviting you to say a few words if you like in the end of this webinar.
So please, if anybody wants to have a floor, we have a few minutes because we are over time already, 15 minutes anyways. But if not, then we are seeing on the next webinar. Thank you, Ovidia, yeah. And thank you also for the organizers. We have an organizing team here sitting on my right. And also we had people from Romania and from Catalan region organizing the webinar. So thank you very much for that. I also can say that all the presentations will be loaded on the project website, as I understand. So they will be made available to everybody. And with that, I think once again, thank you for everybody for the good time and for the interesting speeches, and we can meet on the next webinar.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Olavi, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Thank you very much. Goodbye. Thank you. Hello.